as usual, Connor, we're blowing through all of our time. How can people connect with you and your groups? Because it sounds like a great place for people to talk. And what I really like about you, Connor, is that I really like your vibe, where, what did you say? Where you said it's not therapy, it's practice. Is that what you say? Training. Yeah. You're big into practicality and not into the theory. And I think that's really important. And then you even mentioned they're holding people accountable to change. And it's like these groups are really, really important. And so, yeah, if this has piqued the interest of some people, where should they start with your book, with groups? What would you say? And also if some women are watching, what's some things they should explore?
Yeah, I mean, you can just go to mantalks.com. It's just MANTALKS, mantalks.com. The Alliance is the group. My book is called Men's Work. It's probably a great place to start, whether you're a man or a woman. If you're a woman wanting to get to know men a little bit better, it'll probably give you some good context. And if you're a man, there's a ton of work in there. I really do like practicality. I like getting down to the work. I have a saying with my son, which is hard work is good work, and the joy is in the practice. And so I've tried to put that into my work. So yeah, mantalks.com. And then I'm on YouTube, Mantalks. I'm on Instagram, Mantalks. It's just Mantalks everywhere. It's super, super easy. I like very direct marketing.
Are we getting better or worse?
As men, as a culture?
Yeah, just as the state of masculinity and as a culture right now. I mean, it seems like it's not necessarily going in a positive direction. And it seems like we really need to be aware, because it doesn't seem like it's naturally coming back to correct itself or going back in healthy ways. Now, I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but would you say that this needs a lot of attention? And would you say that's probably true?
I think that our very young generation needs a lot of attention. I do think that the needle's shifting quite a bit. I think that there is a pretty substantial, maybe not movement is the right word, but I do think that a lot of men are finding their way, much like you and I have. This is a bit of a longer conversation, but I think that we're waking up from the kind of generational trauma of being raised by the men that came back from World War II. And just came back completely obliterated. And
Investment Club. Today, I consider it the best investment that I've ever made. We get 4 projects presented a week by their associated CEOs. Personally, I'm completely blown away by the quality of these projects, and I know of nowhere else where I would be given this same opportunity. Each week that passes, I feel more appreciative of the fact that I'm a member of this group. The vibe was just tremendous. Everybody's on the same wavelength. We just clicked. Everybody listened to each other, enjoyed their company. It was just magical. Take action. Don't take my word for it. Due diligence you need to do. And I really hope that someday down the road I see you in the club. It far exceeded expectations, without question.
Had to raise families from that place after what they saw. And I think a lot of men that are your age, my age, a little bit younger than us, they're really asking these questions because there's been this vacancy of male role models, and there's been this vacancy of masculinity that feels rooted and mature and grounded. And so I think a lot of men are on that quest. What I do think needs support are the younger men who are going into school too early, who the school system is not set up to serve and support them. They're not benefiting from those education. And then, they're going to go out into a world that their education has not really set them up for. I mean, you're going to have an AI philosopher, university prof in your pocket at all times. And that's going to disrupt some stuff. And so I think the more that we can teach young boys, here's how you think, here's how you critical think, here's how you learn, right? Teaching young boys how to learn, I think, is so important. And then creating more opportunities for that physicality. So I do think it's getting better. I usually am a pretty relentless optimist, and I do think that there is a big shift, especially from when I started a decade ago. When I started Man Talks a decade ago, it's like, man, we are in trouble because I got so much hate for even starting it, so much hate. And now, it's much more socially accepted. Men doing their own sort of personal work is much more socially accepted. More men are doing that. They're trying to find their way into what does it look like for them personally to be a good father or husband or businessman, instead of having, other people tell them what that should look like. So I'm optimistic.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think we are now seeing all sorts of different types of male role models. Again, some suit others more than others. I think that's really positive. But also we've got all these other technology creeping up on us. And, you mentioned how the AI can really be dangerous tool for women, like with that scenario, which I hadn't heard of before, which is interesting. But obviously the AI replacement of men is also a really scary possibility. And through the physicality and even the protection and all of that, I guess it's scary for both sides. So we have some new problems. We have a little bit of a light there. I guess we got to keep having these conversations.
I love it, man. I really enjoy our time together. I really enjoy our conversation, like very thoughtful questions. I do a lot of interviews and you are well prepared. And I love the personal side of this, and just getting to talk about boxing and fighting.
No, that's cool. I knew you had a little bit of scrap in you and some stories there. So that's really cool to hear your perspective. Yeah, Connor, really enjoy this time. Really appreciate you. And let's definitely have another one of these in the future.
Likewise.
All right, great. Thanks, everybody. Follow this man, check him out, and we'll see you next time on London Real. Take care.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.